Eulogy in memory of Mama Yatta Kalon. On behalf of the family, I wish to thank all of you for taking valuable time off your busy schedules to come and honor and to celebrate with us the life of our mother, our auntie, our grandmother, and our great-grandmother, and to join us as we take our final remains to our final resting place. Most of you here today will agree with me that there is someone who has made profound influence in your lives, someone who has impacted you, and someone who has taught you something that has changed your lives. I wish to tell you that for me and for my siblings, for Ayosaka Temple, for Mami Kalon, and for Amara Port Kalon, that special someone is the person you used to know and refer to as Yatta Kamara Kalon, whose family and close friends fondly called Mama Yatta. I see in Mama Yatta not only a loving, caring, and a devoted mother, but a teacher as well. Because for us, her four surviving adult children, just named, we see ourselves as her students. When a pebble is dropped into a quiet pond, its influence radiates on and on for a very long time. Mama Yatta, through your life and example, through your character, your integrity and contentment, and for what you stood for, you dropped a pebble into each of our lives and into the lives of many close members of your family. Your influence on the entire family, on your nieces, your nephews, and on your in-laws, including Hannah Yema Amara, Frances Elizabeth Kalon, and Fadila Bendu Finda Kalon, is still radiating. We hope it will radiate beyond your grandchildren. Mama Yatta, the seed of hard work, the seed of love of family and love of humanity, the seed of service of mankind, and a generous spirit, which you sowed, will influence generations after you. It is our prayer that your influence will be a legacy that will go on beyond your many great grandchildren, including little Ayo Temple in Melbourne, Australia, Victor Kalon in Dayton, Ohio, Hannah Temple in Alaska, Titi Biasi and little Mami Kalon, both in Columbus, Ohio, to name just a few. Today, all your children, grandchildren, grandnieces, and grandnephews look back with appreciation and gratitude for your touch on our human feeling, on our individual and collective lives, and for teaching us the true meaning and value of family and friendship. This eulogy is incomplete without a snapshot of personal recollections and fond memories of Mama Yatta's four surviving children. She was born in January 1923 into a family of chiefs. Like most homes of African chiefs in those days, Mama Yatta lived in a large polygamous family of over 27 half-brothers and half-sisters. She was the first of only 3 children born to her mother, and she survived all but one of her siblings. Her only sister, Fudi Tiange Kane, now living in Kenema, Sierra Leone. Mama Yatta was also the first of 3 wives in a polygamous marriage, and she gave birth to 8 children in that marriage. 6 grew up to adulthood. The oldest child, Bendu Kalon, elder sister of Ayo, died in childbirth, and her last son, Safa Kalon, died during the Sierra Leonean civil conflict. Friends, if you went to Sierra Leone some 45 years ago looking for an example of a traditional African woman, you will have been probably led to Mama Yatta. She believed in and practiced her traditions very well. That tradition demanded that the first wife or big wife in a polygamous relationship among the Medes of southeastern Sierra Leone played a symbolic role as the mother figure to all children born into that relationship. Mama Yatta fulfilled this responsibility in a remarkable way, so much so that it was difficult for us children and for outsiders to know whose child was who among the 19 children born to our dad, Sayo Bokari Kalon. She remained loyal to our dad until his death. She was also a woman of strong conviction, and she held to the basic principles underpinning her culture and traditional practices. She taught us the importance of family values, first by her example and then through stories. This is one reason why her adult grandchildren and some grandnieces and grandnephews who now live in the West have great difficulty to understand why we, the uncles and the aunties, moms and dads, relate to each other the way we do, because they never attended Mama Yatta's school. In that school, she believed that one person conceives and gives birth to a child, but the child belongs equally to every member within the family. And therefore, raising that child is the collective duty and responsibility of each family member. She also taught us that our brother or sister's cry should not go unheeded, and we should always stand ready and prepared to scratch whenever and wherever our brother or sister is itching, whatever that may entail. I can hear you agreeing with the grandchildren that this is a hard teaching, and you may argue that it has no place in today's America, or indeed anywhere at all in the world. But I can also say that without exception, all Mama Yatta's grandchildren are beneficiaries of her philosophy, because each one has benefited when they were in need. The family had always come to their support based on that philosophy. The civil conflict uprooted Mama Yatta from her village and brought her to Freetown in 1991. She came fighting for her very survival with a grandson, Joanna Kalon, tied behind her back, her right knee bandaged, and she was carrying a walking stick in one hand. Before two shakes of a dog's tail, as we sometimes count time in Sierra Leone, Joanna forgot Mende, his mother tongue, and the only language which Mama Yatta spoke. This meant that there was no one in the entire neighborhood for Mama Yatta to talk to. Earlier on, Mama Yatta had hoped that Joanna was going to be her interpreter. So she cried when Joanna was not speaking Mende anymore. Her resilience and fighting spirit kicked in, and she started paying people to teach her Creole, the language of the majority in Freetown, to be able to speak with Joanna and with the temple boys, Olo and Ayodele. If we all live here today, and if there is one thing to know and remember about Mama Yatta, whose remain lies before us today, if we all live here today And if there's one thing to know and remember about this noble woman whose remain lies before us today, it is the fact that she would always seek good out of any bad situation, and the Sierra Leonean Civil War was no different. The war forced Mama Yatta with her grandchildren to embark on a long refugee journey from Koya in the east to Freetown in the west of Sierra Leone, and through the refugee camp in Ghana, onwards to Ohio in the USA, in pursuit of peace and freedom. But more importantly, the war also marks the beginning of a spiritual journey for her. When she arrived in Freetown, she started observing her children practicing the Christian faith. Upon her arrival in Ohio, Mama Yatta was heard making remarks that it was only God who drove the airplane, and no human wisdom could do it. However, it was not until in Maryland when she started working closely with the Lord, when God used Hannah Amara, her niece-in-law and her then caregiver, to start witnessing to her about her salvation. As a young believer, she practiced her faith following her conversion to Christianity. She believed and practiced what Hannah used to teach her, including prayer and making recitation. Yesu Wabinyambao was her constant prayer. She once requested to make a recitation to Ayo for an unconfessed sin which she committed against her deceased husband, because she believed that our late dad loved Ayo so much that if Ayo forgave any sin which she committed against her dad, then that sin would be forgiven. This is not a sound theology, but it gives us an idea of the extent to which Mama Yatta believed and practiced her newfound faith. In closing, I want to say this has been a tremendous privilege for me to give a synopsis of this great woman's life. I thank the entire family, Mr. and Mrs. James Amara, Mrs. Temple, Mami Kalon, Amara and Fadila Kalon, for giving me this honor and a once in a lifetime opportunity. Let me take this privilege to thank the family in Ohio who first welcomed and hosted Mama Yatta on their arrival, and indeed all those who supported her when she relocated to Maryland, when she needed care and support the most. A special thanks go to Mrs. Adel Titikapura, who has stood tall by Mama Yatta since the last years of her sickness. I want to say thank you to all of you. May the Lord of all grace bless and strengthen you, and may He reward you and fill your cups of joyful service to overflowing. Amen.